Yes, it's telling you this really good.
Alright, I'm ready. Hi guys, welcome to Clueless. I don't know. I was gonna put a transition there. Hi guys, welcome to We Perceive As We Are. You most likely know us still if you haven't got on our Instagram or our Twitter or our everything else that we have moved to We Perceive As We Are. We're no longer Clueless, but you know the basis. The two quote-unquote main hosts are here, but you know Michelle, everybody's still coming along. But the thing, generally, like the main thing is changing, as well as I said, the way we approach things. So just to get into stuff, basically this is just going to be a reintroduction. With Clueless with LMZ, we had an introduction basically saying why we're here, how we're here, what we're doing basically. So it's a little more about us in some way. But yeah, Zilla will start us off with something.
So basically in this video, as Lulu said, we're just going to get deeper into a little bit more about our brand, why the message of perspective.
I wouldn't necessarily say brand, but our platform,
more about our platform, the whole message of perspective and why it's important and how we want to take it and apply it in our own life, and basically just a further explanation of what's happening. So starting off of who is We Perceive As We Are. So when we had started Clueless with LMZ, the message at the beginning was talking about the problems and issues that the youth go through by the youth for the youth, you know. We had started that whole thing because there's issues that you go through as the youth.
And basically we just wanted to make, you know, community or a space or a platform where we can talk about such things in intellectual, respectful way, you know, with everybody just having a fair ground to speak, everybody's opinions respected. That I think was our main goal. Just generally, I wouldn't say at the time.
Generally. And as we grew, as we learned into the whole thing of the podcast, as we said in the other video, that we jumped into this whole podcast thing kind of like head first, didn't really
think it through.
We got excited by the message and kind of just ran with it.
Yeah, I mean, we had the big vision, like I said, the enthusiasm, we got the motivation, but then, you know, the route and the plan and the map was kind of out of the window.
Yeah.
So now with, I guess,
here we are,
and the change and the shift is basically to convey our message in a more clearer, understanding way, as you know, us being more consistent, as you know, posting more video, being more interactive, basically
being more open on the platform, because as I said, it had been about for the youth by the youth. And as we were growing, as we were having conversations, especially at the beginning of our parenthood series, when we were going and getting more interviewees and guests to come onto the platform.
And our feedback from our videos, majority of the people who, you know, were listening to the parenthood series was parents, you know, trying to get perspectives from other kids to either use on their kids or just understand where they're coming from, because most of the time it's hard to communicate. So I feel there's where we kind of got deeper into the perspective part of Clueless with LMZ and basically shifted it into it being majority in our whole agenda. And it also leads back into us wanting to create the community and, you know, be with the people for the people, I guess. So perspectives now, not age range, you know, teenage and youth. Yes, we're young. Obviously, we're going to speak into majority young people, but the perspective part, I feel generally anybody from any walk of life and age group.
It kind of opened up, as I said in the beginning, it kind of opened up to us that we can learn from everyone and anyone, you know, talking about these issues, not just to the youth, but everyone outside the youth, people who have grown from the youth, people who are going to enter the youth, you know, that whole thing. So it's the thing of now we want to change our platform into a place where a person can come and speak about their perspective of life on all sorts of topics. We're going to be talking about all different kinds of topics, but so that through those conversations, in talking about the perspectives of life, whatever topic it is, whether it's relationships, friendships, careers, whatever, we can learn from each other and we can learn from the perspectives of those things, and then take those things and the most important the most important part, I feel like, is take those things and then apply it to our own journey of self-discovery and self-growth.
When we feel learning from perspectives, we've said it, I feel we try not to imprint from a person, you know, you went through that, this and this and this, it worked for you, I'm going to do the exact same thing. It's more people walk through life, either it's an age thing before you, they have different experiences you're probably going to have yourself, but they've learned that lesson and they could give it to you, we could give it to each other. From as I said, anybody has learned in their own life, in their own situation, different things that I couldn't get for in. There's always going to be that new, fresh perspective, that new way of seeing things. And I feel like it's beautiful to share that and, you know, learn through each other. And not, like I said, copying in a way. Mine manual, I feel like it's weird, but...
but not copying in a way and in a sense of learning from each other and with each other as well. Because I feel like with Clueless, why we never really, or personally why I felt we never really got as deep as we wanted to in the beginning, is because it's kind of putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
You know, putting ourselves out here onto the platform is learning, is taking that step in vulnerability and saying that I want to learn.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing and I am learning. And that has been a journey in our own, or in my own, you know, journey of self-discovery. It sounds so weird to keep on saying that, self-discovery, but it is a journey of self-discovery, you know, just life in general.
Learning yourself.
Learning yourself and learning to understand as you are, perceive as we are.
As we are,
you know?
Because
it's the important thing. And personally for me, we're spiritualists, right? Taking it into... Or I'm a spiritualist. I can feel like that classifies...
Where you stand?
Where I stand. I don't really have a label, but to ease people when they say, okay, what do you believe in? I would say I'm a spiritualist. But I learn a lot from Christians, from...
I do believe in that. With me, I don't necessarily have like a stance when it comes to where I am. I have a balance and I have a mutual respect for all religions, everything. But I wasn't obsessed. I was like heavily researching religion. Because at that point, I was trying to find where I stand, you know. And I did learn a lot. And I feel like staying in your lane while looking at everything else, I feel is important. Because you could run, you're not moving, you're not getting into other people's business. You're just seeing more. You know, you're just not looking at your feet when you're running. I feel like that's the beautiful thing about learning and connecting. And I think as Zila was saying that with different religions and different people, I learned different things. And one of the reasons I also started or gained or thought this was the best way to approach it.
Yeah, and as homeschoolers or quote unquote unschoolers, let me not even say homeschoolers, as unschoolers, we were lucky enough in our lives to have traveled a lot of South Africa and met a whole bunch of
different people,
of different kinds of people. And then COVID happened and traveling became less tricky or more tricky. Seeing people became more tricky. And now taking those steps to reconnect, because personally for me, it's only in this year of 2023 where I feel like, oh, we're in 2022. Guys, I'm jumping. I'm already scared for next year. But I feel like it's only recently where I've learned to reconnect with people.
Yeah.
And taking that platform and starting the whole platform of Clueless with LMZ into now, we perceive as we are. It has helped me so much, because in the background, guys, you have to talk to people, you have to learn from people.
Expanding myself, even though we travel and we talk to people a lot, I wouldn't say categorized as introverts, but we don't really interact with the outside world that much. But then the I guess the feeling, the drive to find different perspectives, learn through different people, I guess is also getting us out there. Like now with getting different perspectives, we probably have to go and see interesting people. Like, you know, I want to hear where you're coming from. I want to hear your mindset. Going up to them and talking, getting that, I feel also has been a learning experience for me. I've learned a lot through the whole, from Clueless all the way to we perceive as we are.
Yeah, and in future, not even in future, right now, we're starting to bring on more co-hosts onto the show, because again, the whole thing of perspectives, we quickly realized that we want to talk about and have conversations, but me and Lulu live together. We talk with each other all the time.
It's very repetitive. You
can't grow your perspective in the same circle.
Yeah, you know? I feel like we had perspectives. It wasn't like what we were talking about didn't have any meaning or didn't have any depth. And exactly that, our conversations were deep and they were like something that I really want to get into. But I think like we talk all the time, and when we're there talking, we're just talking our conjoined or our mutual perspectives and just basically discussing the topic. But I feel bringing in a third party, fourth party, multiple people, just bringing a fresh perspective widens the net for the conversation, just widens what it can be so much more versus just two people or two similar perspectives. As I said, is different but it's alike. So bringing other people, learning new things, you know, and not just that, with multiple people you can create a new thing, you know, discover out of conversation. Because I feel through conversation, discussion, communication, interaction with other humans, other people, you get to scratch, you get to dig into a certain part of your brain that you can't necessarily reach by yourself. You know, you need either a spark, you need that's something.
Yeah, because
something of the sort.
Yeah, because when you're talking to other people or the people that I've stumbled upon in life, you know, I've met some pretty cool people and we've had some pretty cool conversations, you know, because you've got people who ask questions from nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, I'm that type of person where I'll be having a conversation and I tend to pick up the smaller things in a conversation. Like a person will be asking, why are you wearing heels? I'll be like, why are you wearing red heels?
Yeah.
You know, but then the next person will be asking, why are you wearing this style of heel? You know, it's a thing of you with introducing more people onto the platform.
I feel like you get to see more of, it's not like you didn't see the full picture, but you get to see different things about it. It's the same thing, just a fresh light. As I said, the new perspective, the fresh, seeing something different. And no matter how times you can change your mindset, you can change all of that, you're still going to see it as yourself. You're going to see it through your perspective. So getting somebody new or a person or, you know, whatever, guests, co-hosts, you know, co-host/guests, because there's some people on this platform who are going to be here consistently, you know, at least an episode a month. And then, as you said, new people that, you know, it's once an appearance, they share their piece of life or their journey through life and the information and the wisdom that they've gained through that. And I feel, as I said, the connection of it is just beautiful in itself.
Yeah, and recently in COVID times, there was that whole string of self-discovery and finding yourself, self-care and all that, and that's important, right? But I feel like we perceive as we are in our community, we will be walking that journey, or we want to be that support through the journey of self-discovery. Because in self-discovery, it's very easy to get lost in yourself, you know. So when you're going through self with other people, in the sense of they're not with you, but they're there, you know, that's the kind of platform and the kind of space that when I put my wake up in the morning and I do work for this platform, that's the kind of space I come from, you know, to create that space where a person can be who they are in the journey that they're in and still feel safe, you know.
Yeah.
Because the outside world, guys, it's scary. I know it's scary. I'm scared. But I want to be brave enough to take that step, you know. And I feel like an important part of being brave enough to take that step is having a community to feel safe in taking that step.
Yeah, a space,
you know.
Those random, for me, one of the reasons is just, you know, those thoughts that you have in your room. And, you know, you could have friends. And for me, my constant, a friend, a guest of ours, you know, last week Thursday's episode, she is someone normally when I think about something drastic or weird, and I'm like, okay, let's have a conversation about it. And I always learn something new, even though we've been friends for maybe 9 years, going on like a decade now. I still learn something new. Through other people, I learn something new, a new perspective. Like, okay, I thought about it, but I didn't think about it in that way, you know. And also, I feel, I just always have a quest for more knowledge. I guess I'm thirsty for learning more.
And that thirst of learning more is an important thirst. It's what will power, as guys, that's the acronym. But as with perceive as we are, that's our goal, you know.
Yeah.
To be that safe space where a person can be at who they are on this journey, in a safe space, in a place that's not going to judge you, in a place that wants to feed that knowledge, you know, that thirst for knowledge. So that's basically who we are, what we do, what we want to do for the people. The people that are currently involved, will be introducing them slowly, but
as the episodes come out, as you know, I've introduced Swallow. You know, she's had an episode. We're going to be having more episodes in the future. Another guest is coming on Thursday after this episode releases. That's another friend of ours. You know, we talk about her perspective on the parent-child relationship, because we're still transitioning with the series that we had from Clueless. Sorry, I talk with my hands, but Clueless with LMZ, and we don't necessarily feel like we need to cut the whole series by transition with it. Learning something new from a new perspective is refreshing.
Yeah,
and you learn through other people's experiences, not because you not necessarily don't have to experience them, but you can get the lessons out of them as well.
Yeah, having that skill to be able to hear a person and listen and learn from them, because you can learn from people, you know. That's how animals learn to walk, guys. You watch your mother walking, you try a couple of times, you yourself try, you know. We learn from watching people, even as babies, you know. So in our step in starting this platform is also taking you guys and ourselves through that journey of learning different communication styles. You know, that's an important step in starting this.
Communication and perspective, I do feel like they go in the same category. Yeah.
Communication is communication. It's perspective, and it's understanding and respect.
Yeah.
Those are 4 key aspects in this platform. You have to be able to communicate what you're feeling, because
you need to communicate your opinions in a respectful manner, and also in a manner where everybody can understand.
And then you also need to be able to come into a conversation with an open ear and an open mind to be able to understand.
Yeah.
So through that journey, it's not, guys, we talk about it and say, no, understand, communicate, respect. These are things that you have to learn.
Yeah, talking is easy. Setting a goal verbally and writing it down is easy. I feel like actually doing it, changing your mindset and changing the way that you think and the way that you look at the world is not particularly easy. And the thing about we perceive as you are is not we want to change people, or we want to, you know, oh, look at it this way. I feel it's broadening what you already have, you know, your perspective, but adding more to it so you could see the finer detail if that's what you choose. And sometimes the perspective, it's a chosen thing. You just choose not to see it. And even that's okay, but knowing that it's there and learning to respect it and invite it is important.
Yeah, and I feel like a key aspect, a way you can see this platform is basically you'll be traveling without leaving your home sometimes, you know?
Yeah, learning about people, I guess, interacting and, you know, doing all of this from either screen or listening. I feel going out and talking to people, wanting to know about them is not that easy, because, you know, I've been that person who's just be like, damn, I wish I knew what was going in their head. They look like an interesting person. I wonder what they have to say.
I want to talk to them.
Yeah, but then you don't necessarily, you know.
You don't know how to approach them. You don't know, oh, how do I come about this and stuff like that. So basically, this is what we perceive as we are is. We want to bring that perspective of other people. We want to help you on the journey of learning those skills. Well, not necessarily help you, but take you guys through our own journey. And the people we bring onto this platform, and the people and the audience, and hopefully you become a part of that.
Yeah, and going through their journeys.
Going through your own journeys. So that's what we want to do. We want to be that support, you know. So to start off, as Lulu said, we will still be continuing the parenthood series. In the future, we will be going back into some conversations that we had on Clueless.
Definitely with more guests, more perspectives and things about, because it's definitely a point where in one of the episodes I could have kept talking, you know, but I felt like I was talking about the same thing over and over and over and over, because there's multiple versions of me, I guess, and there's multiple versions of her, but it's the same thing in a way, and learning more and learning different, as I said, I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself, but learning the same or different angles, looking at it or being able to see it at different angles is important.
We've all learned, we've all grown. In coming up weeks, months, in the coming up future, we will be having more live discussions on Skype. We'll be having Instagram lives, YouTube lives, but we'll be opening up the platform like we wanted from the beginning. and opening up that platform to the whole perspectives, to hearing other people's perspectives, to getting our own perspectives challenged, you know?
Yeah.
That's the important part, getting our own perspectives challenged, because how can you grow your own perspective without challenging what you already know?
Yeah, true. And I feel like it's important when you approach this podcast, I feel like it's easy to understand, as Zila has said, having an open mind, being willing to accept the reason, or I said the essence of this is to learn and grow through and with other people, you know, because some people are better processing alone, you know, better going through things alone, but then after that or during that, depending on how you process, you could reflect, you could go back and be on some, all right, this and this and this and this happened, and you know, seeing it as at different angles, you know, just
it's so our platform is for those who want to, you know, come along with us for our own journey of self-discovery, and hopefully along the way you guys can pick up something, you guys can learn something, you know. But yeah, as I said, we'll be going into future topics, as relationships, friendships, getting more into depth in those. And I feel like a more important aspect is that we'll be more open, you know.
yeah.
These past 2 months we've taken a step back, or in the past 2 months of already doing Clueless with LMZ, alongside the rebranding, we've come to realize that we never really showed you a part of us and took you alongside the whole journey, as we said we will from the beginning. So that will be also a new change in the rebrand. But yeah,
the whole perspective thing, as you said, we would love for you to be included. So please don't be scared to comment. Please don't be scared to like, share, and do all of that, because we do want to hear what's going on with you. We do want to hear what you think about the videos, what type of videos you want to hear episodes, all of that. Just your perspectives, what you want to hear, basically.
Yeah, and you know, if you don't like what we're saying, on the comments, free to comment, challenge us, ask us those questions.
Please do think before you,
in a respectful way, you know, ask those weird questions, because that's what gets the thoughts thinking, you know, why is the sky blue, y'all? But those are the questions that we want to hear, those are the questions we want to talk about, you know. But yeah, that is, I feel like this video has covered a lot of that. If you guys have any more questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments,
and, you know,
DM us on Insta, DM us in private. Guys, we don't bite, we're trying to be,
you know what, we don't bite. She is right, we're right here,
we don't bite,
our hearts are open.
But as again, we will be setting more opportunities to connect with you guys on our side, and to give you guys the opportunity to connect with us, and not only us but other people. This has been We Perceive As We Are.
So hope to see more of you guys, not see, hear, and you know, get more feedback. Yeah, but that'll be it for this video. As you say, you'll be seeing us on Thursday with a new guest / co-host. But yeah, see you then.
Bye,
beautiful people.